Episode number 47, Live at the Bike with Mike, Part 1. Welcome to the Heads Up Poker Podcast. This is Steve Barton.
And this is Joe LaPenta.
Thanks for coming on, Joe.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Okay, so to fill everyone in, we are at Live at the Bike right now. Mike is playing, and they're playing 5-10. They just started about a couple minutes ago. I don't think Mike's played a hand yet, has he?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, let's see. Did he just raise to 45?
I think there's another Mike on here because I think Mike is in the blind, so I don't think he's active yet.
Ah, okay. Mike Snyderman, yeah, they have Mike out.
Mike.
Okay, cool. Oh, looks like he just got a shot at Amaretto. Well,
he's enjoying himself.
Yes, he is. Okay, so to set the scene here, we've got Mike. He's got his backwards hat on, no sunglasses. He just ordered an Amaretto. Looks like some kind of Chinese baseball shirt.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Yes. Well, what he told me he was going to do is he said that he's going to take 4,500 at a 5-10 game here.
Okay.
And he said he's going to buy in for 15 and look at it like he's got 3 bullets.
Okay.
So I don't know what the chip values are there, but I'm guessing if he's done what he told me, that's 1,500.
Okay. I know that I'm not sure. I've watched Live at the Bike some for like what do you call it? Crush Live Poker. I've seen some. I think the white chips are $100 if I remember correctly, but I'm not really sure about any of the other chips.
Okay.
It looks like yellow's $5.
Yellow's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Yellow is fine. Okay.
I guess there's very little minimum here because did you see the first hand where the guy shoved for 200 on the flop? I guess that's the minimum buy-in is $200.
Maybe I thought Mike said it was maybe 1,000 max, and he said there's no max I'm sorry, minimum 1,000, and he said there's no cap. He said, so there could be guys buying in for 10K there. Just to bump in for a sec here, after we recorded this 3-part series, I called up Lyman and some of the guys at Live at the Bike, and they have a gift for you. If you click on the link in the show notes, or go to liveatthebike.com and enter in the code POKERSESH, Poker, S-E-S-H, you'll get access to all their videos for free. They have hundreds of them. They do 2 a week, and they've been doing this for years. You get access to all their videos, each and every one, for free for 30 days. You can watch Mike's session. Scroll down to October 13th, and you'll be able to watch Mike. So, liveatthebike.com, Poker Sesh. We don't get anything from this, but the folks at Live at the Bike were generous, so we wanted to pass that along to you. Also, if you want to take your game to the next level and really start to influence your play on a subconscious level, start using Elliot Rose hypnosis tapes. Try it out for free. You get a free MP3 by clicking on the link in the show notes. When you go to his site and you get his MP3s, make sure you enter in the coupon code HUPOKER and you'll get 10% off. If you're not using these tapes before you play, you're giving up an edge. This is the next step in poker, is the mental game. So check them out. You and your bankroll will be glad you did. Okay, and now back to Live at the Bike with Mike.
Maybe we missed some hands or something, because I'm pretty sure he only had like $200.
Okay. Yeah, the yellows are 5 there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the blue ones are, but maybe they're quarters. Okay.
So what's your take of the table right now? What are you looking for as put yourself in Mike's shoes? How are you sizing up the table?
I mean, I'm probably looking for people who seem like recreational players, which I'm assuming that a lot of these guys are. There's probably only
Okay.
a few professionals. And I'm just kind of watching and looking for tendencies and trying to figure out, how to exploit them in future spots.
Okay. To Mike's left, there's a guy wearing sunglasses, a little heavy set, wearing what could be maybe a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, he looks like a recreational player to me.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly. I think the only guys who I think might be professional might be the guy in seat 1. He looks like a younger guy, kind of
wearing a beanie.
Yeah. I mean, he could definitely be a pro.
T-shirt.
I mean, maybe the guy in seat 2, although I mean, you can never tell.
Looking at the table here, I think Mike's in a pretty good spot. Yeah, the guy in seat 2 is listening to his iPhone. He's eating Chinese food with chopsticks. He could be a pro. But the guy to his left does not look like a pro. And then the guy to his left, so 2 to Mike's left, is wearing a cowboy hat. Looks like he's drinking. Tattooed, sleeved. Kind of a biker vest. It's recreational.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like Mike's seat a lot right now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the 2 guys who might actually know what they're doing are on his right, so shouldn't have too much trouble.
Yeah. Maybe Mike sees that too, that's why he's drinking.
Maybe.
Now, what do you think of the guy to the left of the cowboy? So 3 to Mike's left.
3.
Looks like he's turned around eating right now.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like an older guy.
Recreational?
Yeah, probably. I mean, he might be like, a reg. Because he kind of, he does look like he's dressed the part for sure. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see a couple of these, couple pots get played and see how these guys play.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The action folds around to the pro in seat 1, the one that we're guessing is pro. He folds 7-5 off. Mike now has, this should be interesting.
All right.
Queen of clubs, Jack of diamonds. He's in the hijack. It's folded to him. Cutoff looks like he's cutting out a call. He does. Button calls. Okay. This is looking interesting. Let's see.
Ace King here.
Cutoff called with Ace King. We don't see the cards of the button.
All right, so there's the 3 ways. King, Queen. Oh.
Okay, the flop is Ace, King, Queen, Rainbow, and it checks through. Okay, now the cutoff has filled up.
Oh, that's an interesting card.
Mike is betting, which I would expect he would.
Yeah, I don't really like to bet that much. Like, you're not really going to be able to get called by worse, and you're certainly not getting better hands to fold.
Yeah, okay.
So I think once you decide to just check this flop and it checks through, I think you can just go ahead and check again. Okay.
Now, the cutoff, who turned a boat, is Hollywooding. He's pretending like he's going to cut out a call.
Yeah.
He finally does. Mike said something to him. He said something back. Now the button, he folds.
Okay.
It's back on Mike. And we go to the river, which is a 4 of diamonds.
Yeah, I think Mike should be checking here and...
Check giving up.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird that the button would play his hand this way. I feel like Mike is going to get kind of trapped into calling a bet on this river if the guy bets small enough. Just because...
He is.
Let's see.
I saw a white chip and 3 yellows.
It's like 115.
115. Okay, so the pink chips, good, Mike, good fold. He laid it down. So on that turn, you wouldn't have bet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just like, you don't have to protect against anything. Your hand can't really get, nobody's hand is going to improve.
Yeah, Yeah. Okay.
Without yours also improving, unless like the river's a jack, but I mean, talking about three cards, so you just can't really get called by worse there, and you definitely can't get better to fold. So looks like the UTG guy limps here.
UTG limped 5-3 of spades. Now the same guy that had ace king last time has his back-to-back. He raises.
Hopefully he plays this one a little bit more aggressively. I think he should be pretty disappointed with the outcome of the last one.
He raises to 50. Cowboy hat calls 50 with jack 10 off. Let's see. The big blind calls with 7-3 of clubs, and the under the gun limper with 5-3 of spades also calls. We go to the flop, four-handed. The flop is 10-8-7. So jack 10 is ahead. He's on in the cutoff. He's cutting out some chips.
Yeah.
Cut out 75. Pot is 280.
Yeah.
Ace king is thinking about a call. So what are you thinking here if you got ace king on that?
This is a pretty easy give up.
Yeah.
This is not a good call.
Smacks the
calling range.
Cutoff's range. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you
So they're both recreational, right? They're both recreational, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. This will be an interesting turn, especially if
the turn's the jack.
That's which he does.
So the board now is 10-8-7. The turn is a jack.
Yeah, I think I like the bet here too because I don't think the hijack should have too many nines.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's gonna have like pocket nines, but he's the pre-flop raiser and he checked the flop.
Yeah. Pocket nines would bet that flop.
Yeah. Pocket nines could check. That could check
really?
call. That would be pretty reasonable. Yeah. Maybe like 8-9 could check call. But I mean, you have to like ask yourself if this guy's really opening 8-9. So.
Does he look like a guy that would open 8-9?
I mean, the fact that
the guy immediately to Mike's left.
Yeah, the fact that he flatted ace king the first hand, and then I mean, just that alone, I think, says that he's probably not going to be opening 8-9. He's either going to be like limping or just calling with it pre-flop.
Okay. Mike's in C3, by the way. He's got king 10 offsuit. He raises to 35. Let's see. We get a call from ace jack. Folding around to the small blind. The big blind has jacks. It's 25 to call.
He raises here, it looks like.
He raises to 145. Mike looks back down at his king 10 offsuit. Realizes it's still the same hand. Oh, he's putting the chip on it. What are you doing here?
I mean, I'm probably folding. I'm probably not opening this hand either. I think like in his position, it's a little bit too late, and without having a good idea of how everybody's playing, probably just going to go ahead and fold that pre-flop.
Okay. So Mike raised.
That's interesting. Yeah. It looks like he 4-bet.
He did.
All right, let's see what happens there.
This is interesting. Okay, so Mike with king 10 off. The other guy with Bear Jew with pocket jacks. The flop is 9-8-3. Jacks check. Mike bets 240, and he quickly calls. What are you thinking here?
I mean, I'm really hoping for a scare if I'm Mike. Oh, it was 340. Okay, that's actually a little bit bigger.
Oh, 340.
Yeah.
Okay, the turn is the 3 of spades, so the board is 9 of spades, 8 of clubs, 3 of diamonds, 3 of spades. There's 2 spades on the board. Goes check, check. River is an offsuit 7. The jacks check. They both started with a stack of 1,500. Mike checks behind.
Yeah, I think you just have to give up there.
Yeah. Interesting. Shows the jacks, Mike mucks his hand. So that's not a hand you would open from that position? Where was he? I think he was button +2?
He was UTG +2.
UTG +2, yeah. King 10 off, you're not opening there, you're just mucking it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe from, like, the hijack. I mean, it really depends a lot on the game, but especially when it's, like, a brand new game like this, and you don't really know how people are going to play, I probably wouldn't be opening that.
Okay. You wait an hour or two and kind of get a feel for everyone. Okay. Mike looks like he's a little dejected. He's talking and smiling, though, so he's back. Okay, good. All right, seat one, let's see, who is that? Seat one open to 30 with king, queen off. We'll call him an older gentleman with what kind of hat is that, Under Armour?
Yeah.
Okay. Older gentleman with the Under Armour hat, he calls with pocket eights. 10-9 of hearts calls. And we go to a flop. Oh, and king 5 in the small blind calls. Okay, would you call there with king 5 off? In the small blind?
No.
Okay. So, what can we label that guy?
He's probably just going to be really loose. Probably a loose passive, given that he didn't bet the jacks. I mean, I don't really blame him for not betting, but I think once Mike checks the turn, he probably should be betting jacks.
Yeah, on the river?
Yeah. So he's probably going to be pretty loose passive.
Okay. It's basically checking through here. Pocket eights are going to win on a board of 4-5, jack, 2-4. Now, would you bet that flop with pocket eights, jack 5-4?
If it's
into two opponents?
Yeah. If I'm in position and it checks to me in that spot, I'm definitely betting.
Okay. But I was just curious if you'll bet that if you're in position against two opponents. Now, what if you're first to act?
If I am the pre-flop aggressor, I'll bet it.
Okay.
So if I had opened the eights and then two guys called behind me, I will c-bet that hand.
Okay.
And if it checks to me and I'm in position, I will also bet.
Okay. All right, we're dealing them out again. Looks like Mikey's in the big blind. Okay. Under the gun folds. Under the gun +2 folds. Fold. Pocket tens in the hijack. Raises it up to 25. Pocket twos right behind him in the cutoff calls. King jack of hearts on the button. And he cuts out a call. Small blind folds. And Mike has ace 5 off. He calls. We go to the flop. And the flop is king 7-6. Pretty much misses everyone except for king jack of hearts, who would check down to him on the button. And I would assume we're betting here, right? A pot is 105. What do you think?
I'm probably going to bet like 55-60.
55-60, okay. He bets 60. And we get another call from pocket tens.
Okay.
What would you do there with tens? Would you have checked there or bet? Or?
I think you can go either way. I think checking and then calling when the button bets is probably fine.
Okay. All right. Goes check on the turn, which was the 9 of hearts.
I think that's a pretty good check.
Really, by both of them?
Yeah, I think so.
Because king jack of hearts now has a flush draw on the turn and top pair.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could be betting there, but I think what he's realizing is that this guy's range is pretty capped to a lot of middle pocket pairs. So he's only going to be able to get one more street out of him, and I think he makes it look more like a bluff when he bets the river after checking the turn. I think that's like exactly what just happened. Okay.
Yeah. Pocket tens bet 115 on the river, and then king jack snapped him off because there was a king on the river.
Oh, he led. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Now he only called the 115. Would you raise there with king with 3 kings?
Yeah, I probably would.
What would you raise to?
Probably something pretty small.
Like 280 or something?
If he makes a 115, I mean, I could see going like as small as like 260, 275.
Just barely doubling it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to look really weird when you check back the turn and then raise the river.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can go too big just because we know that his range is pretty weak.
Okay. Okay, let's see, where are we at? Okay, we've got a call from King 7, Jack 6, Jack 9. Mike called with 5-4 off and 9-4. And the flop is 8 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds. Mike leading out here. Mike has the 5 of diamonds.
Yeah.
6 of diamonds would give him nut flush. Bear Jew has Jack 6 of diamonds for the flop flush. Mike has bottom pair with a terrible flush draw.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have led here just because there's just a lot of people in the pot, and a lot of their limping ranges are going to be suited cards. You're going to be up against a lot of flushes. And, I mean, you don't really have that many good turns.
Yeah, okay.
Like 6 of diamonds is a nice card.
6 of diamonds is pretty much it.
Yeah.
That hand the guy happened to have it.
Even an offsuit 6, you know, you're not really going to be feeling too great about it, so.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking personally just check giving up there.
Yeah.
Did you ever call a bet or no?
No, probably not.
Okay. What are you mainly playing now? Are you playing 2-5 or are you playing 5-10 or?
I'm playing 2-5 and 5-10.
Okay.
I actually played a session of 5-10. I got crushed last night. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 2-5 has been pretty good lately, so I've been playing mostly that.
Okay. How do you like Mike's situation at the table here now that we've been watching it for a little while?
I think it's really good. I think the fact that the guy on his immediate left seems really, really passive, even with his strong hands, I mean, that it can only be a good thing for Mike.
Yeah, I agree. Cowboy hat, he looks pretty recreational.
Yeah, I mean...
The guy with the green hat looks pretty recreational, and even a couple after them. I think the only 2 real competent guys are the 2 guys to his right.
Yeah.
I would say seat 1's probably the better pro. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen too much from him, but that's what my assumption would be.
Yeah. People are just casual around the table looking at their phones.
Yeah.
This looks like a good table.
This seems like a great game. I would be pretty excited.
It does. Oh, man, I wish I had the roll to sit in this thing. I love Mike's spot right now.
Yeah. Hopefully he can pick up some hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only downside is it doesn't seem like anybody's really getting out of line, so, like, you know, you are going to need some good situations to win some big pots here, but who knows? I mean, they may loosen up as they play more. Yeah.
Okay, we got a raise from under the gun, Ace-7 of spades. Mike looks down at Ace-7 of hearts.
Right.
He's in the cutoff. Looks like he's cutting out some chips to call. Mike calls 30. Small blind folds. Big blind calls with pocket with 2 red 6s.
Okay.
What are you thinking if you're Mike here? Would you call that?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Flop is 5-3-5, 3-tone. Pocket 6s checks. Ace-7 of spades bets. And he bets 45. Mike, with the Ace-7 of hearts, calls. Pocket 6s folds. Okay.
That's interesting.
What do you think of this?
I think this is fine. I think this.
You would call there?
I mean, I could definitely see floating. Like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's mandatory, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's...
Now here, this is an interesting card. The turn is the 4 of spades, so the board is now 5 of hearts, 3 of clubs, 5 of spades, 4 of spades. So Mike turned the high flush draw. It's Ace-7 of hearts checks to him on the turn. He bets out 110. Pot is now 295. Wow. Ace-7 of hearts calls.
No. Mike has the Ace-7 of hearts. So Mike turned better.
Backwards. Yes, you're right. Ooh, the other guy got there.
Ooh, yes.
King of spades. And he checks it. What are you doing here if you're Mike?
This is a tough spot. I'd probably fire here. But,
really?
I think, when he check calls the turn, I don't really expect him to be, I don't really expect him to be check calling ace king. So I don't think he has too many kings in his range. And I think, like, you're just gonna have to fire here. And you could definitely rep a lot of hands, but unfortunately, he happens to do it into the nut flush. Yeah, I think if you float the flop there, and that's the turn, that's a really good turn for Mike. And when you get checked to, you have to be betting that turn, and if he check calls, you just kind of have to be barreling the river, especially if it's a card that completes some draws.
Okay. So he played that one well.
Yeah, I think he played that one well. Pretty unfortunate.
Okay. Good job, Mikey.
I like his sizing on the river, too. He went pretty big. I didn't see what the pot size was, but it looked like he went pretty big. He bet, I think, 390, which I think is a really good size because he can just rep so many hands. He can rep full houses, he can rep flushes, he can rep straights. Whereas the other guy really shouldn't have too strong of a hand. I'm actually pretty surprised he didn't just barrel his actual hand.
Okay.
But I do like that hand by Mike.
Mike has 6-5 off. He folds. There was a limper in front of Mike. He limped with 5 of clubs, 3 of diamonds. Cowboy Hat's cutting out a raise with 10-7 offsuit. So we can't see his cards.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Bear Jew. He is wearing a black shirt. He has sunglasses tucked in kind of a V-neck, looks like expensive shirt. Looks well-groomed, probably Middle Eastern. Kind of a big guy. Looks like he's wearing a wedding ring. He checks his 5-3 on a board of 10-7-4. So, the button who raised with 10-7 off, he actually hit top 2 pair with his...
It looks like he gets raised, too. Or
I think he got a call.
Oh, okay. That was a call.
I think it was a call, yeah. He bet 80. Bear Jew called 80.
This is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Turn is an offsuit queen. Pot is 470. And Bear Jew leads into him for 225. Cowboy Hat has 2 pair. He counts out a call. And the river is an offsuit 6. So the final board is 10-7-4, queen 6.
This is pretty incredible.
Yes. Okay. Bear Jew bets 700 into a pot of 1.4K. Cowboy Hat calls really quickly.
Wow, that's a pretty unfortunate river. Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. If you're watching the guy in what seat is he in? Seat 9. He led really, really fast on the turn.
Okay.
And I think usually that's a sign of weakness. I think like when he calls the flop, he's probably just already has it in his head that he's going to be betting. He's just going to be leading the turn. So when he leads that fast, there's just very little thought behind it. And I would have just called with the 10-7. I would have just called down.
Okay.
But pretty unfortunate that the guy rivers his gutter.
Yeah. Now, what do you make of him?
Who?
Bear Jew.
It's funny. I thought he was going to be a little bit more. Oh, as we said, loose passive. So now he just seems kind of loose aggressive because that's a pretty interesting play. Yeah. So it's interesting that everybody at the table gets to see that he shows down 5-3 offsuit. So everybody knows that that's what he led the turn with.
Yeah. I like his table a lot. I like his seat.
Yeah, I like the fact that he has seat 9 on relatively in good position on his right.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely going to want to play pots against him in position.
Yes. Cards are being dealt. Okay. Seat 1, under the gun, has ace-queen of diamonds. He's looking around, sunglasses with his, and he bets out 30. The guy to his left calls 30 with Jack-10 offsuit. 7-2 of hearts calls in the hijack. What do you think of that call?
It's not one that I would make.
Okay. Flop is King 10-6, 2 clubs, 10 and 6 of clubs. Bear Jew, we can't see his cards, but he leads out for 25. Ace Queen of diamonds calls. Jack-10 is thinking, and he puts out a call. What do you think of that call?
Which one, by the Jack-10 or the Ace?
Yeah, by the Jack-10.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, it's such a small bet.
Okay.
I mean, he's leading 25 into, I think it was like 140 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, now we see Bear Jew's hand. He's got King Jack. The turn is a king. So Bear Jew checks. Oh, no, I take that back. Bear Jew bets 100. Pot now is 325. He has King Jack. The board is King 10-6 King. 2 clubs. Jack 10 folds. 7-2 of hearts. Made it to the turn. Would you be calling there with 7-2 of hearts?
No, I don't think so.
Wouldn't be doing that? Okay.
I mean, he did have both of the back doors. So, what is going on?
Well, he just called with the 7-2 of hearts.
What?
Okay, so Cowboy Hat called with 7-2 of hearts. Now we're on the river. The river's an ace. So the final board is King 10-6 King Ace. Bear Jew bets out with 3 of a kind kings. He bets out 300. The pot is 725. Cowboy Hat is thinking.
Yeah, something tells me that this is a bit of a spite call after the last pot that they played together.
What can he beat though?
Oh well, he definitely can't beat anything. He's just thinking about whether or not he wants to try to bluff here.
To raise him.
Yeah, I think he's going to do it. It looks like.
It looks like he's doing it. He counted out, I think that's 900.
I think it's... This is pretty interesting.
Okay, Bear Jew's thinking. He's got 3 of a kind kings. It's only 600 more to call. You can't fold that ever, right?
Yeah, I think he probably finds a call here.
Yeah, and he does. Well, that 6, what was it, 5-3?
That actually, you know what? That made him a lot of money. Not just...
It did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan was with the 7 deuce of hearts. I think that's probably a little bit of his ego feeling a bit bruised after the last hand.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm a little bit jealous. If this is what poker is like out in LA, I'm a little bit jealous. Although maybe it's easier to say that seeing the whole cards, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But, yeah. You know, if you ever want to come out, we got a spare room.
Yeah, I'm currently looking up flights, so.
Yeah, we're about an hour from this casino. No, maybe an hour and a half, but we got one that's the Ventura Card Club.
Okay.
They have 5-10. They got 3-6. And 3-5.
Oh, that's it. What is
and 3-2, I think.
Is 3-6 that's a no limit game?
I'm sorry, not 3-6. Let's see, they got 1-2, 2-3, 3-5 is what it is. 3-5, and then 5-10.
Okay.
Folding around. Bear Jew calls 10 on the button. With 7 of diamonds, 4 spades. Oh, I'm sorry. He raises to 25 on the button with 7-4 off. The pro in seat 1 has pocket aces. He re-raises. Big blind has pocket queens.
Oh, wow.
So he raised to 90. Pocket queens called. Looks like queens is going to go broke here. The flop is... Oh, they're already all in.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
They chose to run it twice.
Aces takes both.
Aces takes both, yep. Do you ever run it twice like that?
I mean, I haven't, but they only let you run it twice at 510 at Borgata. So
Okay.
I haven't actually come across too many situations where that was really like an option. So.
Well, it looks like he busted for his last 380, and so he's gone.
So now I wonder if do they have like alternates that they will fill seats, or do they now just play 8-handed?
I don't know. We'll see. Cowboy Hat is drinking a beer. That's always a good sign. Looks like they're getting a close-up there. Cowboy Hat is texting. He has a tattoo of a marijuana leaf on his right shoulder. What do you think he does for a living?
I'm going to go with truck driver.
I'm going to say the same exact thing. I'm going to say the same exact thing. The tattoo of a naked woman on his on his right elbow there.
Yeah, this is...
Looks like Mike is... Looks like he might be playing a pot. There were some chips in front of him. Okay, let's see. We've got a call from Queen 9 off. Ace King off calls. Under the gun +2. Pro folds on the button. Mike has Jack 10 off in the small blind. He completes 8-3 off in the big blind. Checks his option. And the flop is 8-7-5. Mike checks, 8-3 checks, Queen 9 checks, and Ace King checks through. The turn is the King of Hearts. There's 2 hearts on the board now. 8-7-5 King. Mike checks, 8-3 bets 10. Queen 9 calls. Ace King raises to 60. Mike mucks his hand pretty quickly. 8-3 mucks his, and Queen 9 is actually thinking of, what's he calling here for? A gutter, I guess?
Yeah.
6. River's a 5. Queen 9 checks. Ace King bets 50. He quickly mucks.
It's an interesting one by seat 7 with the Ace King.
Yeah. Are you ever limping there?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have too many limps other than maybe some small pocket pairs if it's a few limps to me. I don't ever want to open limp.
You never open limp small pocket pairs in early position?
Not really. Usually I just open them.
I used to always open them. Now maybe tournaments is different, but I used to always open them, and I've been experimenting with limping lately. Limping things like pairs in early position, like they used to do like 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
You know how everyone would just limp their pairs in early position and then bet out if they hit and check if they don't?
Right.
I've been experimenting with that a little bit, and it seems to be working. Other ones I'll kind of limp too with are, what are some other ones?
Like suited aces maybe? Like weak suited aces?
Yeah, like suited wheel aces.
Okay.
Oh, Mike's got Ace King. Okay, there's a raise from Bear Jew. The wild guy that played the 5-3 before.
No, actually it looks like the, wait. Oh, it said that the 8-3 raised, but I guess maybe that was a mistake.
Okay, let's see. This is interesting. Okay, the flop is King 8-5 off. Mike has Ace King. Bear Jew has Ace 10. Mike kind of slammed his chips down when he bet. So Bear Jew checked to him. He kind of slammed him down. Bear Jew's talking to him, kind of pushing his chips around. Looks like he's posturing, pointing. Mike's smiling. What do you make of this if you're Mike? Oh, he throws in some chips.
Oh, looks like a raise.
It is a raise to 350. It's 220 for Mike to call.
All right.
What are you thinking here if you're Mike?
I'm thinking there is a... I mean, I don't know what they're saying, so it's kind of hard to judge, but I am definitely never thinking of folding.
Okay.
And, I don't really like that.
He raised?
Yeah.
He raised to 600.
Yeah, I mean, this board is just really dry, and if you think this guy can be bluffing, you might as well just let him bluff.
Yeah, just call there?
Yeah.
And let him lead the turn like he did before?
Yeah, I mean...
when he had when all he had was the gut shot?
Yeah, given the way he played that hand, like, he's probably going to be barreling.
Yeah.
And I would just let him do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all you really do is get him to fold his bluffs there, and, like, if he actually is check-raising there with a strong hand, I mean, you're probably not in very good shape. I doubt that he's check-raising king-queens.
Yeah. Mike's rolling up his sleeve, taking a little sip of that amaretto. Oh, the guy that busted, it looks like he's back.
Okay.
Must have gone to the ATM.
Yep.
His stack now is 600. The way he was acting, the way the villain was acting in that hand, Bear Jew.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see about his body language? The way he was kind of talking real loudly, kind of acting strong, but...
Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's probably the type of guy who plays, like, makes a lot of decisions based on his ego. Those are usually really great people to play poker against because those decisions are typically not very good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, against him, I'm going to be doing just a lot of check calling. I'm going to let him barrel a lot of his bluffs, into my, like, mediocre value hands. Not that ace-king is mediocre on the king-high board, but against, like, a check raise and barrels, you are bluff catching essentially. So.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting hand right there. A whole bunch of min raise and then a bunch of calls. Mike had 10-8 suited. Probably 6 people to the flop, and the flop was 8-9-10. So he flopped top and bottom pair. A guy let out with a lone jack, a jack 6 for an open ender. Mike raised to 175, and he took it down. So he took down a nice little pot there. Would you have played it the same there, raising like that? Your hand's pretty vulnerable, right? You want to...
He raised the flop?
Yeah, he did. A guy let out for, I think, 60, and he raised it to 175.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
There's going to be lots of people with, open-enders and gutters and all sorts of things, so...
Yeah.
Definitely want to charge people.
Yeah. There's one guy on the phone. He has ace-7. He bets out for 30. The guy with ace-2 calls, and the board is 9-9-4. Ace-7 is in the big blind. He's checks. Checks. He's still on the phone, yep. And it goes check. Is it 7 play? No, it's a split pot. The more I watch this, the more I think the guy in seat 1's a pretty good pro. I think the guy in seat 2, who only bought in for probably 500 or 600 the first time and then bought in for 600 this time. What are you making of him?
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as we perceived him to be originally.
I think you're right, yeah.
I think, especially even just like the way he played that last hand, it's, you call on the flop with ace deuce, and you get the guy to check to you, and you're just going to try to show down your ace deuce, but you're actually going to just be showing down into a better ace high a lot that you can get to fold on the turn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to float there, like, you should probably just be betting when you get checked to.
Got a guy with kings raised. Mike called with king 10 suited, and then ace queen of diamonds raised to 105. Pocket kings called, and Mike called with king 10 suited. What do you think of his call there in between those two?
It's a little bit thin, but it's probably fine. It was a pretty small raise.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised that the pocket kings just called.
Yeah, me too. I would have repopped it there.
Yeah.
Flop is ace 6-3. Turn is a queen. It checked through on the flop.
Wow, that's a pretty good turn for Mike.
It is, yeah. Mike just flopped, or turned a flush draw. Andy has a gutter, a jack or a spade. The other guy, to his right, the amateur, turned top 2 pair. Pot, now it's on ace-queen. Mike's studying him pretty hard. Mike's reaching down and playing with his chips. What does Mike's body language look like there to you?
I mean, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what he's thinking here. It'll be interesting to see what the ace-queen decides to do here.
Yeah. So he's raising. Well, that should be easy for Mike to get away from that. It's 40.
I don't
Raised it to
know.
475. Really?
I'm trying to see. What is the size?
Pocket kings right here in this guy's spot. You're folding all day long, right? There's no decision?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. The fact that he was thinking about that makes me think he's not a pro, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's probably just kind of disappointed.
Okay.
Disappointed that he flatted and it came ace high. But, yeah, I'm sure he was just planning on folding all along.
Okay, so with this, it's another 300 for Mike to call. The pot is 980.
Yep.
Okay, so the board is ace, queen, 6, 3, 2 spades. Mike has king 10 of spades, and the other guy has top 2 pair. The river's the 8 of clubs, so it does not improve Mike's hand. It's on Mike. He checks. You checking there every time in Mike's spot?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, are you ever betting in the other guy's spot?
Probably always.
Okay, that's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
because as soon as Mike checked to him, he flipped his hand up. I was like, wow, I think he missed a value bet there.
I think so, yeah. I mean, if I'm him, I'm probably value betting pretty small, but I definitely am going to value bet there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, okay, in the pot of, let's see, what would the pot have been, about 12 or 1300?
Yeah.
I was thinking 340.
Yeah, I like that size. I think anything under half pot is probably pretty good.
Okay. Even like 25% or a third?
Yeah, I mean, basically it's kind of just whatever you think you can get the guy to call. Depends on what he thinks of Mike's range in that spot. And, yeah, I mean, it's pretty unlikely that Mike is going to have a really strong hand there. At least I would say he's almost never going to be flatting the turn and then check raising the river. So, it's pretty safe to just go ahead and bet and not really, be too concerned about getting raised.
Okay.
Especially given the line that he took. I don't know if you, were paying. I think the flop actually checked through in that spot. So he actually checked back the pair of aces. So when he raises the turn, I'm actually pretty concerned that he has a set of aces or a set of queens.
Okay.
So I'm glad that Mike didn't decide to 3-bet the turn because he turned such a big draw.
Yeah.
It's an interesting spot.
Yeah, we've got a pot of 140. The board is ace, 8, 7, 6, 3 clubs. River's a 4. Bear Jew has a straight. He bets 100 into 140. Guy with 10-8, thinking about a call. The pro in seat 1, he folds his hand. And the other guy has pocket 6s, and he folds. Oh, did he fold a set?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he did.
That's a good fold.
Would you make that fold? He bets 100 into 140?
Yeah, I probably would.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah.
Any 5, 2 clubs, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, pretty much every draw gets there. Unless you think he's value betting 2 pair, ace 8 or something like that. I think you just gotta have to fold there.
Okay. That's a spot where I might have called, so that's good to know. It'd have been like a crying call,
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't feel good about it.
No, You're asking yourself, am I ever good here?
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't blame somebody for calling, especially calling that specific player.
Yeah. It was Bear Jew, the 5-3 guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got a raise to 30 from 9-9. Cowboy Hat calls with King Jack off. No, he raises to 60. He raises to 60 with King Jack off. We go to the other guy calls with pocket nines. The flop is 7-5-4. It's on pocket nines, which is the one that was directly to Mike's left. The one with the ace queen. We should call him Hawaiian Shirt.
Sounds good.
That's Charles. Hawaiian Shirt. 4 hearts on the turn. Now there's 2 hearts, so the board is 7-5-4-4. Pocket nines, bets, Hawaiian Shirt, Cowboy Hat, with King High, is thinking about calling 115, and he does. What do we think of that call?
I don't like the call on the flop. I really don't like any of these streets as played.
The river is another 4. 7-5-4-4-4. You like the check?
I really like this check.
The check by pocket nines. You're giving him a chance to just bet.
Yeah. Right? I mean, given the way this hand has played out, where he min raises you pre-flop, he flats twice.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't imagine he has a better hand, but I also can't imagine that he ever has a full house either. So I would just want to give him a chance to bluff. And he's really considering it, so.
He is. He's thinking about it. Cowboy Hat's thinking about it. Someone just handed Mike a Red Bull.
You can see the guy in the Hawaiian shirt is breathing pretty hard. But I don't think Mike is paying too much attention to that.
Yeah. He just looks like he has a strong hand the way he's breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, usually when somebody checks and their breathing gets that heavy, it's probably because they have a pretty strong hand. A good rule of thumb that somebody told me was if they're breathing heavy after they bet, and only after they bet, then there's a good chance that they're bluffing. And if they're breathing before they bet and after they bet, it's a good chance that they have a very strong hand.
Okay. Interesting. I guess they checked?
I think that's probably what happened here. Yeah.
Because pocket nines flipped up his hand. Yeah, okay. I guess he did.
Yep.
Well, he is a good guy to have in the game, both of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, they're both pretty great.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, you know, what's his name? Charles. Charles doesn't seem to want to value bet any of his hands, although I think I like the way he played that hand. I think he played it pretty well. Okay. But, you know, with his, like, ace-queen check back on ace-queen XXX, he doesn't seem to want to value bet too many rivers, so that's a great person to have on your left.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is just, I mean, he's basically just clicking buttons. He's not really doing anything with no real purpose that we can see.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of this, but I would be really excited if I'm in this game and watching this happen.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering when my turn is going to be.
Yeah, I think that's what Mike's thinking right now. He had his head down.
Yeah.
He's got his chair turned around, hat backwards.
Yeah.
His chin is on the front of his chair. He's just like, just give me jacks.
Just give me, you know.
Yeah. I'll make pocket sevens work. Let's just do this. Oh, Mike Snyderman's got a little something now.
All right.
Okay. King Jack of clubs opened. That was Josh. Bear Jew called, of course, with 5-2 off. Mike has ace queen off. And he called. Charles to his left with 4-3 of clubs is thinking about it. He's got to call 30. He's in the small blind.
Looks like Mike is...
Oh, he called in the small blind. Mike has ace jack of hearts, and Cowboy Hat Mike raises it in the big blind to 135. King Jack of clubs calls. 5-2 offsuit from Bear Jew calls. Mike Snyderman with ace queen off calls. And in the small blind now with 4-3 clubs, counts out a call.
Wow.
Nobody believes Cowboy Hat Mike. This could be interesting. Oh, not Mike's flop.
Wow.
The flop is, this is going to be pretty interesting. Flop is 5-5-9. So, Bear Jew flops trips. 4-3 checks. Cowboy Hat Mike bets out 300. The pot is, Bear Jew raises to 1.1K.
Yeah, that's probably just going to be the end of the hand, I think.
I think so too. The pot is 2.1K. Would you ever raise there as Bear Jew?
No, I don't think so, especially against this.
Wow.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
You got him to
What do
total
I...
out with... Wow.
What do I know?
Okay, well, Cowboy Hat Mike shoves the Ace Jack of Hearts on a board of 9-5-5 with one heart.
Heart.
And the turn's a heart. Oh, give him a heart.
Give him a...
Yes! I love it. I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, they must be running it twice because he won the first one.
I lost the second one. Oh, that's good.
Lost the second one. Oh, they're doing it 3 times, I think.
Oh, wow.
And the third one...
He's going to lose.
He's going to lose. Okay. Well, he didn't lose all of his stack.
Wow, that is crazy. I'm not really sure why Bear Jew would decide to run it 3 times there, but it ended up working out really well for him because he would have just lost the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, he still gets 2/3 of the pot.
I think you can see Mike kind of smiling to one of the players on his right. I think they're both kind of acknowledging what is happening right now.
Yeah, we have a big advantage because we've been watching this and seeing everyone's cards.
Yeah.
And they, I think, are just now starting to realize, holy God. So now, when you see a player like this, and let's say you're Mike right now.
Yeah.
And thank God he got some chips back, because he's probably not buying back in.
Right.
What are you thinking with him? Do you just want to get any kind of, middle pair and just go with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to... I'm probably going to play every single pot that this guy is involved in, which is probably going to be most hands. I mean, I'm not gonna go out of my way to play really bad hands like the 5-deuce offsuit, but I mean any connected cards, anything where I can make a hand and just put money in against this guy is probably going to be
5-6 of hearts, 8-6 off, stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, he's literally just putting it in with ace high, he's putting it in with anything.
Yeah.
So.
And now, what about Bear Jew? How are you going to play against him? He's on your right. He's 3 guys to your right.
Yeah, he's actually pretty tough to play against because he actually he will bet his bluffs and he will also bet his value hands in a pretty similar way. So when we first saw him play I think it was the 5-3 offsuit hand where he just led the turn with the gutter, I thought, oh, okay, well, this should be pretty easy to spot. But now that he's playing all of his value hands just as fast, he's actually going to be pretty tough to play against. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the guy with the green hat, he's kind of pointing and talking, looks like a little bit louder. It looks like Bear Jew's defending himself right now, trying to... It looks like there's some kind of argument over the way that they were betting the chips, because the guy with the green hat says he's doing a little display now, and he's kind of counting out the other guy's chips, and then he's kind of splashing them in the pot.
Yeah.
Looks like amateur banter. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. Wait.
Now, Bear Jew just passed over chips to the amateur.
Yeah.
To the cowboy hat.
Wow, I wish we...
You know what? I bet what happened, maybe the dealer dealt it out.
Maybe she chopped it for... I don't really know what...
Maybe she chopped it wrong, and the guy next to him was saying that you're supposed to have more.
Yeah, maybe.
And since he's an amateur in the cowboy hat, he didn't know.
Huh.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. That's really strange. I mean... And he seemed like he knew exactly what the amount was, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Pro in seat 1 finally took his sunglasses off.
Yep.
He looks friendly.
He does.
Friendly.
Definitely looks like a pro with the arm across the chest onto the shoulder move.
Yep. That's a pretty signature move, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Mike Snyderman with Jack 10 of spades, my favorite hand, by the way. Raised it up to 40. We get a call from Ace King of spades and a call from Bear Jew with 10-9 off. The flop is Ace King Jack, 2 clubs. Bear Jew checks his 10-9. Mike Snyderman checks his Jack 10. And Ace King... Wait a minute. Ace King bets 75. Bear Jew quickly folds. Mike Snyderman folds. And Ace King Peter, the guy in the blue shirt, that's his name.
I actually really like the fact that Mike just decided to check fold that hand.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's really good, especially from what we've seen from Peter, where he seems to play pretty passively pre-flop. I mean, he flatted Ace King suited there, and he limped it pre-flop earlier.
Yeah.
When he's betting the flop there, I don't think he's ever going to be bluffing, so your hand just becomes basically a gutter, and there's no real reason to continue.
Yeah. Feeling out the cards now. Mike is under the gun +2. Under the gun has Ace-7 off, and he looks like under the gun called 10. Mike has 10-9 of spades. He raises it to 60. And under the gun +1. Cowboy Hat Mike has Jack 10 off. He calls. Bear Jew has 9-8 offsuit. He calls 55. And the under the gun limper Chuck, his stack is now down to 575. He calls with the limped Ace-7 off. Flop 4-2-2. Bear Jew checks his 9-8. Chuck is now sitting there with Ace-7. He checks. Mike has 10-9 suited. He's leading. I like this lead. What do you think?
Yeah, I like this as well. I mean, it's pretty tough for anybody to rep stronger hands than you can.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike clearly is going to have the strongest range out of everybody.
Yeah, the limp under the gun, then he raised it. Everyone else called.
Yeah.
I think check 2, that was the perfect flop for him.
Yeah, and it's also kind of great when you get called because there's a pretty good chance that you're going to have 2 overs to, all the pairs that are going to call you. And you get to rep, basically every card 9 and up is, a good card for you.
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty good spot. He also had backdoor spades, so.
He did, okay, yeah. Yeah, one of the 4s was a spade, right?
Yep.
Okay, Cowboy Hat Mike raises to 30. We get a call from Josh, Ace-9 off. Bear Jew calls 6-4 off. Mike Snyderman has Ace-10 off. Looks like he's counting out a call. I certainly would be, would you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Cowboy Hat Mike raised with 8-9 of hearts. And the flop is Ace-King 3, 2 diamonds. Mike checks his Ace-10 off. Ace-9 off from Josh, gives it a call. Bear Jew's out with his 6-high. Mike Snyderman now with Ace-10 off on the board of Ace-King 3, 2 diamonds. He has the 10 of diamonds. No one else has a diamond. You see anything to do here but call?
No. Yeah, calling seems to be the play.
Good. Turn is an 8 of spades.
I think that's a really great turn for Mike, just because I think that, or for Mike Simon. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mike checked that through. I would have bet there. Would you have bet?
Yeah, I probably, wait, if you're who?
If you're Mike Snyderman.
I think he's out of position, though, so I don't think I blame him for not betting.
Okay. Are you value betting this? The river's the offsuit 5. Are you value betting here on a board of Ace-King 3, 8, 5?
Yes.
After it checks through on the turn?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to value bet. It's going to be really small, though. Maybe even a little bit smaller than that.
Okay, like 140? Might bet 190.
But this is probably fine just because he's going to get called by this guy. Oh, wait, did he get raised? Or is that a call?
I think. Oh, it is a raise. 315. Now, Josh is in a precarious spot here. He's got ace-9. What do you do if you're Josh here?
Yeah, I don't know. This is a really, really tough spot.
I might think of raising, actually.
I mean, raising would be a really good play.
Just to isolate this guy.
Yeah.
Because you know he's going to call down with ace-high.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know.
Or a pair of threes.
I don't know if he's going to be like. I mean, that's like a pretty advanced play in this spot. I doubt that he's going to be capable of doing that. I mean, I hope Mike doesn't find a fault here. This would be
pretty bad against that guy.
Kind of crazy, yeah.
190 to call. There's 1K in the pot. You're getting over 5-1. You think he's thinking of raising here?
No, I don't think there's really. Well, I don't want to say there's no value in raising because that might not be true. But I think it's just a pretty easy call. I mean, he almost just showed him his hand, which is kind of funny. Maybe he is thinking of raising. I don't know. It looks like he's calling.
Oh. Well, I called. He sees the 9-8 for the pair of 8s on the turn, kind of shakes his hand. He's scratching his head right now, and he's like, wow, I'm really glad I didn't fold.
Wait, he got to see his hand? Because I didn't know if he turned it over or not.
He did get to see his hand, yeah. Oh, no, you're right, he didn't. He flipped over his ace-10, and then he was really surprised. Insta-muck.
Yeah. I hope that he realizes now that he can just never fold, like, it's not a perish for this guy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for him to be thinking that long, unless he was considering whether or not he could raise. But
I mean, he's already seen the ace-high call an all-in.
Right.
He's already seen the pocket threes call down.
Yeah.
And now he saw that. He's got to believe that I've just got to get in as many spots with this guy as I possibly can.
Right.
Okay, we got Peter raised, 6-5 suited up to 40. Under the gun +2. Josh called with ace-king. No, Josh re-raised with ace-king to 150. Mike Snyderman's there with king-3 off. He's giggling, and then luckily he folds. Time to pull the Roses move. And Cowboy Hat Mike is counting out a call with king-9 of hearts. So, king-9 of hearts calls under the gun. He'll be out of position for the rest of the hand. He cold called that.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually not surprising. That's like a pretty strong hand for him, I think.
Yeah. Ace-king is got position. He has the ace of hearts.
6-5 of spades didn't call.
Oh, this should be interesting. Okay, the flop is queen 10-8. Mike has king-9 of hearts. There's the queen of hearts out there. Ace-king calls. The turn is an ace. So the board is ace-queen, 10-8. Let's see. Ace-king bets 300. King-9. Oh, great. This is perfect. Mike's going to be doing jumping jacks here himself.
Yeah, luckily this guy won't lose the rest of his money.
Luckily he won't go bust. The river is the jack of diamonds, giving both players a straight. So, luckily, nice gentleman with the cowboy hat will not be going bust this hand. 500 to call. All in, he calls, this flip.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that Peter folded 6-5 of spades there. I mean, with Mike being in the hand, with Cowboy Hat Mike, I don't think I would be able to fold anything that I open there.
Yeah. I wonder what Mike's stack is at now.
I mean, he's probably over 1,500 at this point.
I would think so. I think he's gotten his fair share of, Okay, Josh raises to 70. I'm guessing this is a straddled game. Mike Snyderman folds, we don't get to see what. Small blind folds, jack, deuce, and Cowboy Hat Mike calls 60 in the big blind with ace-8 off.
I don't think
so it wasn't a straddled pot.
Yeah.
Wow. He has ace-king, and he's so sure that Cowboy Hat Mike is going to call, he just 7X's it. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good play. You basically
it is. I like that, yeah. I like it a lot. You know he's calling, so
Yeah.
raise big when you got it, because he ain't folding. Flop is 6-3-2. Cowboy Hat Mike has ace-8. Looks like they go check. The turn is pairs the board. It's 2. Check. River's a queen. Putting a possible flush out there. Nobody bet it. Cowboy Hat Mike checks. Shows his ace-king. You ever betting ace-king there to try to get some value from Cowboy Hat Mike?
I might, actually, yeah. Against him.
Yeah.
Betting.
When would you bet? The flop?
Yeah, I'd probably bet the flop. And
Okay.
I'd probably check the turn. Maybe bet the river. I mean, I'd bet at least one street. I'm not sure which one.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking bet once, bet on the flop.
Yeah, that seems good.
And see if we get it checked down. So you're in position for the rest of the hand, so it's pretty easy to play this. Okay, we got a limp from Bear Jew, 7-4 off. It's on Mike Snyderman. He dumps it. It's been crap. Cowboy Hat Mike, who's never met a 2 cards he doesn't like.
He raises with the hand.
Yes, he raises with 10 deuce off. Raises to 30. Let's see. JCW, that's his name, with the green hat.
Yeah.
He calls with 10-3 off in the big blind. Bear Jew also calls with 7-4. Flop is 10-6-5. So, Cowboy Hat Mike flops top pair. Guy to his left with the green hat with 10-3. He also flops top pair. And Bear Jew is open-ended with 4-5-6-7. So it doesn't look like anyone's going anywhere. Bear Jew, Mike bet. Bear Jew raised on that one. And Mike called. Turn is a 9. So the board is now 9-10-6-5. Goes check. River's a 3, putting a backdoor diamonds out there.
Oh, wow, and he got there.
And Bear Jew got there. So he's got the straight now. Mike checked his pair of 10s, top pair. Bear Jew bet 500. Pot is now 9. But he overbet the pot. I like that a lot. What do you
Yeah, I mean, this guy he's just not going to fold.
Yeah.
Although right now he actually looks like he's going to find a fold.
Oh, no. He's picking up the chips. There we go. Okay. Show me your straight, sir. Oh!
I mean, it's kind of...
So hang on. Let me look at this shit. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. He threw his cards away, then grabbed them again real quick and looked at them, making sure he didn't miss some odd full house.
I mean, it's funny that he actually came closest to folding when he had top pair.
Yeah.
Of all the times.
This is interesting. Bear Jew raised to 50. We don't know his cards yet. Cowboy Hat Mike raised on the button with Ace Jack off. He raised to 200. Bear Jew calls. Don't know Bear Jew's cards. Flop is Queen 10-2 with 2 clubs, the Queen and the 2. And it goes check.
I'm really surprised that Mike didn't just shove on this flop.
Yeah. He's only got 400 behind.
Well, that seems to be a mistake, because it looks like he's got like a bunch of white chips. Check.
They're just checking this down, I guess.
I think the images are messed up, but I think there was a bet on the river and a call, and I think they both had ace jack.
Okay.
But I think Mike's stack on there was wrong, because it looks like he has like quite a few white chips.
Yeah, it does. It looks like at least 6 or 8 white chips there, huh? What are those green ones? Those must be 25s, I guess?
Yeah, I think the greens are 25.
Okay. So the whites are 100. What are those gray ones that Mike has? Mike Steinman.
I'm not sure which ones. I think the gray ones are the 25s.
Oh, this is interesting. They're V-pips. Bear Jew is 56. Cowboy Hat Mike is 53. Josh, 46. Chuck, 34. Mike Snyderman, 31. Charles. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah,
Relief Frop raise. Cowboy Hat Mike, 21. Josh, 21. Charles, 14. Pro in seat 1, 12. The guy to his left, 12. Bear Jew, 12. Mike Snyderman, he was the tightest, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I think either him or maybe JCW.
JCW, yeah, probably JCW is the low end. Mike opens for 65 with ace-10 of diamonds. We get a call from Cowboy Hat Mike with 3-3. Bear Jew calls with 8-deuce. And we hope no 3 comes, because if an ace is out there, then Mike is completely screwed. But if he can catch a 10, I bet he'd call down with 3s there. Flop is King 9-6. King and the 9 are hearts. 6 is a diamond. Mike has ace-10 of diamonds. Checks, looks like it checks through. Nope.
Yeah.
We've got Cowboy Hat Mike is betting out pocket 3s on this board. If you're Mike, are you calling here? Bet of 115, the pot is 325?
No, I don't think so. I think Mike, it looked like Mike checked and then actually folded.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually pretty good, because like this guy is showing you that he's just not going to fold any hands. So you can make some pretty big adjustments and just basically just bet only when you have, you know, either a big draw or a big piece of the board. And he's just going to call you down. So, I mean, there's no real need to bet when you don't have it.
Yeah, okay. Okay, C1 Pro folds, 7-3 of clubs. Now it's on Mike Snyderman. He also folds. Charles folds. Wow. Cowboy Hat Mike folds.
Huh.
Feet around the button, raises to 30 with Jack 9 off, 1 spade. Bear Jew calls with ace-8 of clubs, and Josh calls in the small blind with 6-7 of spades. Flop is Queen 4 deuce, all spades. It checks through, and then on the turn with the 10 of clubs, Josh finally bets out 60. The pot is 150. Jack 9 folds, and Josh wins the pot. Wow, I'm surprised. Would you call there with Jack 9?
I would probably call with the Jack 9, yeah. I'm pretty surprised. What the size, I didn't catch how big the bet was in comparison to the pot, but
I don't think it was much. I think it was like 50 into 115.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to call there.
Huh, yeah, I was surprised he didn't. I don't think I would ever fold there, but I definitely would have taken my time before folding. You just turned open-ended.
Right.
Because Queen 10's on the board. There's 3 spades. You got the 9 of spades. You got to at least think before you do that, right?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, he can just be betting like a 10. If he just has like 10x with no spade, you have a lot of equity versus that hand. I mean, even if he has, you know, Queen X with no spade, there's just not very many hands that you're drawing dead against, and you have a lot of equity in that spot. So, I mean, I'm pretty surprised.
It might be a hand for the podcast.
Yeah, maybe. I honestly think that the Mike Snyderman's hand with the Ace-7 is actually a really interesting hand to talk about. I think he actually played that hand really, really well, even though the result was not great.
The Ace-7 of spades?
Yeah, when he had Ace-7 of hearts and the other guy had Ace-7 of spades.
Yeah. Dealer's dealing him out again. Mike's in the big blind. Charles, under the gun, has King-Jack of spades. He elects to limp. Cowboy Hat Mike folds. It's folding around. Josh decides to call with 9-8 off. Bear Jew folds. The pro on the button in seat 1, he folds. Small blind raises to 35 with Ace-10 off. Are you ever raising there with Ace-10 off?
I probably wouldn't. I can see the case for it, but the problem is a lot of these guys who limp, especially in early position, will do it with pretty strong hands, and they'll even do it with hands that dominate Ace-10. Okay. So I'm not really excited about raising and then, getting like ace-high flops where they
in out of position the whole hand.
Yeah. So I mean, Ace-10, I'm probably just gonna check or just call, and Ace-Jack Ace-Jack plus I'll probably be raising.
Okay. Well, this is interesting because it checked through on the flop. The board is now Ace-10, 8-6. The guy with Ace-10, he checked twice, again on the turn, and he got a bet of 35 from the under-the-gun guy that's got a gut shot now to a queen. Looks like he's counting out raising chips. What does that look like? 165, 175? Pot is 185, and he bets with his top two pair. I'm thinking like, it looked like 165, 175. Yeah, 165. King Jack folds. Looks like Josh is posturing here with 8-9. Well, maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, he ends up just folding.
But from Josh's perspective, I mean, well, let's see. He did raise pre-flop with the ace-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty easy fold, I think, with the 9-8.
Okay.
It's probably not a good idea, though, to be on your phone while you're in the middle of a hand, while you have a bet in front of you. It doesn't show, it doesn't look like you have a lot of interest in the hand, even though you have a bet. So, you might end up inducing some raises that you don't want to happen, so.
Yeah. Mike Snyderman folded his 5-3. We got a few raises, and then ace-queen came in, made it 160. One of the raise callers, Josh, has 10-9 off. He calls, Bearju folds. They go heads up to the flop. Josh has 10-9 off. The pro in seat 1 has ace-queen off. Flop is 8-8-4. So Josh checked the pro in seat 1 bet. 170. Josh has 9-10. He folds. Pretty standard?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's it.
Yeah, that might be it. I mean, it is 1 o'clock.
They did say 8 to 10 or from 11 to 1, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Right on. So what do you think overall of Mike's play?
I think he played pretty well. I think the only mistakes were like really, really small.
Okay.
I think the queen jack hand where he checked the flop and then bet the turn on ace king queen, I think that's like a pretty small mistake. But I think he played well in the bigger pots that he played. I think I'm a little bit surprised that it took him as long as it did to call with the ace-10 against Cowboy Hat Mike.
Yeah, that I thought would have been an instant call. Maybe not instant call, but 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy call, and I think I mean I like that he's like thinking about it. I think that's good, and it's probably a lot easier for us to say that it's such an easy call just watching it, but he did make the call, so
Yeah. You know what? That's probably very true.
Yeah.
Being on the side where we could see everyone's cards for 2 hours,
yeah.
and Mike only got to see maybe 3 of them.
Right.
And, it probably is a little bit easier on the side of the table.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I've actually played a couple hands recently where I had hands that were basically the nuts, but they were like the hands played out in a way that my opponent, my hands turned into bluff catchers the way my opponents play their hands.
Okay.
So I ended up like basically tanking with 2 very strong hands. I had like Jack 10 on like a 10-9-8-7 X board.
Okay.
Where I ended up like 10 calling, and then I had Jack on Ace 6-7 turn Jack River 7, and the way the hands played out, my opponents were basically repping the nuts. So my hands, as strong as they were, kind of turned into bluff catchers.
Yeah.
So I ended up obviously making the call in both spots, but a lot of the people at the table were kind of surprised that it took me as long as it did.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious to talk with Mike about that one.
Yeah.
About the ace-10. That he seemed very surprised. It looked like he had kind of resigned himself to I only need to be right 1 and 3 times here, and
Yeah. I think maybe what threw him off was the fact that when this guy was bluffing, he usually like bet pretty big. So for him to just like min raise there, it like shouldn't ever be a bluff. So Mike has to decide, if he's value betting worse.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can understand Mike's confusion because that is a pretty weird spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was cool. I look forward to talking with Mike and seeing what his perspective of it was. So,
that'd be good. I mean, I'm sure they don't just stop playing; they probably keep going. So maybe he'll have some good hands to talk about.
Yeah. That was fun. Well, thank you, Joe.
Yeah, that was great.
Do you want to throw in any plugs?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if anybody wants to contact me you can look me up on Twitter at JOESMOE 87. That's it.
Okay, cool. Right on. And, you can, check out our website, HeadsUpPoker.Poker. If you're interested in any Elliott Rowe, hypnosis tapes, you can go to his site, enter in the coupon code HUPoker, all lowercase, and, you'll get 10% off. Thank you for tuning in, and here is your weekly motivational speech.
Every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around.
Never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you. How many predictions have been thrown at you your whole life? If you believe predictions that do not empower you, you will wither away and die. Either physically die or your spirit will die as you just walk around the world like a carcass that is just following the masses. You will be given a lot of titles in your life. You will be told so many different things. You must only listen to that which empowers you.
And see, it's not important how long you live. What's important is how you live.
The first thing I believe you got to do to turn yourself around is really take control of your mind. More specifically, you got to feed and strengthen the mind.
Guess what? You're going to make some mistakes. So the person who's never made a mistake hasn't done anything. If you're going to make some mistakes, if you want to do something out here, you're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to be criticized when you come out into the arena called life. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. It goes with the territory. But it's okay.
Take charge of your own life. Then walk away from the 95%. Don't go where they go. Don't do what they do. Don't talk like they talk. Develop you a whole new language. Don't use their vocabulary. Don't use their excuses. Once you look back on it, you will never turn back. You'll never go back to the old ways and the old language and the old neglect. Never.